السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ ان الحمد للہ وکفی والصلاة والسلام علی نبی المصطفیٰ وبعد۔ ناظرین اکرام، میں قاسم رشید احمد آپ کی خدمت میں حاضر ہوں، اور ہمارا جو آج کا ٹاپک ہے وہ حلال فوڈ ہسٹری اور ریالٹی، اور یہ کہ حلال میٹ ہسٹری اور ریالٹی، کہ مطلب یہ ہسٹری بن جائے گا برٹن کے لیے اور ہم لوگوں کو کمپرومائز کرنا پڑے گا، یا یہ کہ یہ جو ریالٹی ہے اس پر قائم رہے گا انشاءاللہ۔ اس کے لیے میں آپ سے ایک سوال کرنا چاہتا ہوں۔ مان لیجئے کہ صرف میں یہ ایک ایگزامپل کے طور پر کہہ رہا ہوں کہ مان لیجئے کہ میں آپ کی جان لینے والا ہوں، آئی ایم اباؤٹ ٹو کل یو، آپ میرے سامنے کھڑے ہیں، بیٹھے ہیں، جو بھی ہے، میں آپ کی جان لینے والا ہوں۔ اب اگر یہ آپ کو پکا پتہ ہے کہ میں نے آپ کی جان لینی ہے، جو ہے آئی ایم اباؤٹ ٹو کل یو، یو نو دیٹ فار شور، اینڈ ایٹ دیٹ پوائنٹ آئی سے وڈ یو لائک ٹو ڈائی ان ون سنگل شاٹ اور shall I hurt you first? Shall I give you little pain? So when you die, it will be little lesser pain, you can say. تو کون سا آپ پسند کریں گے؟ میں یہ نہیں کہہ رہا ہوں کہ میں مار رہا ہوں آپ کو، لیکن اگر آپ مثال کے طور پر مجھے اگر مارنا ہی ہو کسی کو اور اس کو مجھے کم تکلیف دینی ہو، تو ڈائریکٹ کلنگ جو ہے دیٹ ول بی لیسر پین، آبویسلی اس میں کم تکلیف ہوگی۔ اگر پہلے جو ہے ہم ان کو انجیکشن لگائیں یا کچھ وہ کریں، یہ وہ، تو آبویسلی انجیکشن لگانا بھی وہ اس بات کی نشانی ہو جاتی ہے کہ یس موت کا بہت قریب آ رہا ہے، اور مینٹلی ٹارچر ہے، اور اندر جا کر کے جو ہے وہ آپ کا جو پورا اندرونی سسٹم ہے اس کو مفلوج کرنا شروع کر دے، آپ کی ہارٹ بیٹ کو جو ہے وہ کم کر دے، آپ کے لنگز، گردے وغیرہ جو ہے یہ دماغ کام کرنا بند کر دے۔ تو اس صورت میں آپ مرنا چاہیں گے یا ڈائریکٹ مرنا چاہیں گے؟ یہ خود آپ فیصلہ کر لیں۔ یہی صورت ہے حلال نان اسٹنٹ کی، جو ہے کہ اگر آپ نان اسٹنٹ حلال میٹ چاہتے ہیں تو اس کے لیے جانور کو بغیر کسی اسٹننگ کے، اسٹننگ کا مطلب کیا ہے کہ جانور کو کوئی چیز سے مارا جائے، کوئی الیکٹرک شاک دیا جائے اس کو، یا یہ کہ جو ہے کوئی بولٹ سے مارا جائے۔ مختلف اس کے پروسیس ہوتے ہیں، مختلف طریقے ہوتے ہیں، جس کو ہم تھوڑی دیر کے بعد انشاءاللہ ڈسکس کریں گے۔ تو آج ہمارے لیے یہ بہت بڑا مرحلہ ہے۔ سو فار جب ہم نے پروگرام شروع کیا تھا اس وقت 53,000 کے آس پاس جو ہے پٹیشن سائن ہوئے تھے۔ ابھی ہم لوگ 53,000 کے قریب، اور اس وقت اب 54,000 کے قریب ہم پہنچے ہوئے ہیں۔ تو میری تمنا ہے، خواہش ہے کہ آپ لوگ انشاءاللہ اس کے اوپر زیادہ توجہ دیں اور یہ پٹیشن کو جو ہے آگے بڑھانے کی کوشش کریں۔ اس پٹیشن کے متعلق ہم لوگ مطلب کافی بیلنس طریقے سے ہمیں یہاں پر اقرا پر پروگرام کرنا پڑے گا۔ از ناٹ بیسکلی اے پروپیگنڈا ٹائپ آف پروگرام، از ناٹ ٹو پش ون سائڈڈ ایجنڈا اور اینی پولیٹیکل ایجنڈا. It is there to address the challenges which is being faced by our wider viewership of Iqra TV. So because Iqra TV addresses targeted audience, so we are talking in the interest of those audience which will be best service of this media platform inshallah. Sheikh Abdul Qayyum, آپ کی طرف آنا چاہوں گا۔ Tomorrow is Friday, tonight is Friday night, you can say, Shab Juma. Tomorrow is the greatest opportunity for our ulama and scholars to exercise their authority, their, you can say, platform and so on. What would you advise to all these ulama and scholars over there, being one of our very senior imam of a masjid, mashallah, where around 10,000 people pray Salatul Jummah behind you. So I'm sure your advice will be فَأَشَارَ مَنْ إِشَارَتُهُ حُكْمٌ, that your indication will be order for them inshallah.
Jazakallahu khair. Very important for our Muslim community and the Jewish community to preserve our right of religious slaughtering, and for us it is halal. Without that is not purely halal and tayyib, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us in the Quran. So if we are not proactively coming forward to preserve our right, we are in big challenge. So what we can do tomorrow, the imams should create this awareness through their Jummah khutbah to our Muslim population that there is Brother Muhammad Amin, as he was referring to this petition, that Jewish and Muslim together are making this petition, so they are in a good position in the debate when it should come to the parliament. That big number of signatories are there. So we know the other side is more than 100,000, and our target is to go to more than that. I think initial target is 200,000. So it is carrying this weight of this big demand of two communities, so they are not victim of discrimination. So we need to do two things. One is the imams will be creating this awareness for the Muslim community to the public, and they need to go through this easy process of through e-petition to contribute there, everybody, and also to lobby the politicians, those MPs who are elected through our votes. We need to get our right through them, telling them you must act to preserve our right. If any MP is not listening to us, then of course, as if they are not listening to their constituents and they are not giving importance to their religious right. So that is we need to make them answerable for that. So I hope and pray that all imams will create this awareness through tomorrow's sermon, tomorrow's khutbah, inshallah, and all Muslims will act proactively and not making that we are regretting later on. I need to say a few words in Bangla now or later on.
Just before the next break, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallahu khair.
So you have to stop at the break. That's why.
Okay, that's fine.
Mashallah, we have new members joined us. Brother Adil from National Halal Food. First of all, Brother Adil, I don't believe that you are from National Halal Food.
No, I represent here as National Halal Food.
But I don't believe that. Looks like you're representing maybe vegetarian or healthy diet. Because I can't see any meat on your body. Mashallah. May Allah give you, preserve your health, inshallah. That's excellent, mashallah. In fact, one thing I would like to say before coming back to you, Brother Adil, just 1 second. If you type just halal petition on Google, which I have tried just now, only halal petition on Google, the link will come and it will show you both. So on Google, when you type halal petition, Brother Amin's page will come first, and then those who are in a position, their page will come. So by giving you this link or this idea of Googling, we are giving you opportunity to search for both, inshallah. Brother Adil, mashallah, National Halal Food, HMC and so on, their core principle is non-stunning halal and so on. I don't want to discuss on commercial angle how it will affect National Halal as a company, but how this challenge will affect the wider community nationally who wants to eat halal.
Yeah, Jazakallah, Brother Imam Qasim, for giving us opportunity to present over here. इसके लिए तो मैं कहूँगा कि माशाल्लाह अमीन जैसे ब्रदर हाफिज़ याकूब ने इसकी इदारे की बुनियाद रखी 1954 में, और एज अ मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी का मकसद ये था कि सर्व किया जाए ट्रू हलाल, जो कि अकॉर्डिंग टू टीचिंग ऑफ कुरान सुन्नह स्लॉटरिंग है। तो उस मकसद को लेके चल रहे हैं। इसी हवाले से जैसे आपने कहा ब्रॉडर कम्युनिटी पे किस तरह अफेक्ट होगा, कि ऑब्वियसली कि ये एक बड़ा सेटबैक होगा अगर खुदा न खास्ता ये जो इस पे बैन हो जाता है नॉन स्टनिंग पर, क्योंकि माशाल्लाह यहाँ पे काफ़ी लर्नड स्कॉलर हैं। तो कुरान और हदीस के हवाले से भी हमारी इबादत जब तक रजिस्टर्ड नहीं होती तब तक हम हलाल को कंज्यूम ना कर लें। तो अगर खुदा न खास्ता इस पे बैन होता है तो ऑब्वियसली कि अगर हमारी नशोनुमा हराम पे हो रही है खुदा न खास्ता, तो नो मैटर व्हाट कितने हम हज परफॉर्म करें, नमाज़ें रखें, कितने ही चैरिटीज़ दें, ऑब्वियसली आई मीन दे विल नॉट रजिस्टर। तो ब्रॉडर कम्युनिटी में हमारी ज़िम्मेदारी है, मुसलमान जितने भी यूके में हैं, हम सब यूनाइट हों इस इशू पर, ताकि ओवरऑल जो कि हमारा हक़ है, बुनियादी हक़ है, इस मुल्क में रहते हुए हम फुली प्रैक्टिस करें अपने दीन को, अपने रिलीजन को। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं कमर्शियली या जितने भी इदारे हैं, उन सबको यूनाइट होना पड़ेगा इस पिटीशन के लिए।
जी माशाल्लाह। तो इसमें नेशनल हलाल फूड का कंसर्न ऑब्वियसली वो तो पता है हमें, लेकिन उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या होगा इस चीज़ को एड्रेस करने में, हाउ दे फ्रॉम देयर फ्रंट ट्राइंग टू टैकल दिस प्रॉब्लम?
आई मीन कंट्रीब्यूशन हमारा यही है कि ज़्यादा अवेयरनेस फैलाई जाए। जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ, जैसे वन ऑफ आवर पैनल ने बात की, जितनी ज़्यादा हम अवेयरनेस फैलाएंगे लोगों में, जिस तरह अगर मैं एज अ कॉमन कंज्यूमर भी बात करूँ, एक एज अ कंज्यूमर अगर मैं जाता हूँ तो हलाल को देख के मैं नहीं कह सकता कि अदर ये स्टन है नॉन स्टन है, और मेरी प्रेफरेंस यही है कि नॉन स्टन मैं लूँ जो कि ट्रू हलाल है। क्योंकि तो मेरे ख़्याल से ज़्यादातर हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन यही होना चाहिए कि इसकी ज़्यादा अवेयरनेस फैलाई जाए कि नॉन स्टन होता क्या है। इसको मैं एक अपॉर्चुनिटी भी देखता हूँ, ये जो इशू अभी है एज अ मुस्लिम हमारी ये ईमान है कि हर मुसीबत में कोई ना कोई एक ऐसी चीज़ होती है, एक ऐसा लम्हा होता है कि उससे हम ब्लेसिंग भी हासिल कर सकते हैं। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि कॉमन मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी में जितने भी इदारे हैं जो इस इंडस्ट्री में हैं, उनका एक फ़र्ज़ बनता है कि हम इतनी अवेयरनेस फैलाएँ कि ये नॉन स्टन और स्टन का इशू ही ना रहे, और नॉन स्टन को इतना हम लोगों में इतना अवेयर करा दें कि वो इसको एज अ ज़रूरत, यानी कि जो आज हम इस इशू पे हैं ऐसा इशू ना हो।
Jazakumullah khair. Brother Isa, what's your take on this?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.
There's some issues that we haven't really addressed while we've sat here, and the brother touched upon it slightly. And it's the most important thing of this is that we have to understand this is not the method of the Sunnah. Stunning is a nicer way of calling it. I say electrocution. You know what happens when an animal is electrocuted? If a human is electrocuted, in an animal, we know there'll be called something which is called salt and pepper hemorrhaging. There's dangerous toxins that are released into the body as well. This impacts, when you consume it, this will affect you. A lot of diseases, etc., etc. And I go back that the Prophet ﷺ and all the messengers, peace be upon them all, the method that they employed was hand zabiha. So why, when we practice making in Ramadan, when we fast, we do it according to the Sunnah. Everything we try to keep to Sunnah. But when it comes to the issue of halal and haram, I believe stunning is haram. Because of the impact that it has, there's no chance it can be halal for the body. And in Tabrani, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that when a Muslim, he consumes haram, a morsel of haram food enters his body, 40 days ibadah is lost. 90% of what is consumed or slaughtered in the UK is stunned. So the chances are that if people and Muslims are not concerned of what they're eating, and they're saying, we just go off the word halal, which is probably one of the most abused words right now. We are consuming haram. 40 days ibadah. Imagine in Ramadan, you eat a samosa. That is haram, for instance. What will happen to your ibadah? It's lost. And if somebody consumes haram every 10 days, unknowingly, or out of non-concern, just imagine all his life, his ibadah. So this is a pressing issue, a very, very, very serious issue relating to our ibadah. For anybody who is a practicing Muslim, for him is very, very serious. And the other issue here is the fact that if we don't speak up now and defend halal, then what is saying tomorrow that we won't have a ban on niqab? There's petitions on niqab, there's petitions on salah, on a growth of masajids, and where is this going to end? So that probably, this may be at the testing ground. Muslims need to wake up now. Otherwise,
and as Brother Amin said earlier, that Hitler, when he started to attack Jewish community or Jewish faith, you can say, the first thing he targeted was their kosher meat. If you want to demoralize or attack any community, you will attack on their food first, because they can't live without that. So Muslims by nature cannot live without meat. We are not vegetarian, we need meat. And they know that if there is ban on halal slaughtering, then Muslims will be forced to compromise. And when they compromise, then obviously their salah will not be accepted. If salah is not accepted, then their dua will not be accepted. If dua is not accepted, then anybody can do zulm on them or whatever. And that's it.
The help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be coming towards us. The final point I want to point out is the reason why stunning was introduced. When I ask the non-Muslims why was it introduced, they say it was introduced on the basis of it being humane. I say, and I ask them whenever I have the opportunity, please provide me evidence of this. Scientific evidence, medical evidence. I'm still asking, 6 years on, nobody is able to provide this evidence. It's like the evolution theory. That theory has gone on for hundreds of years. We have this theory of stunning being inhumane, but we have proof. The Muslims and the Jews, we have proof that this is very humane. So we just need to do some research, educate the people that this method, firstly, was introduced to increase the kill. And secondly, it was introduced to get a faster kill, not on the basis of it being humane. And this is something that we need to understand. And by us consuming the stunned, we're ineffectively, when we're not bothered, we are effectively saying the sunnah, we don't have to focus on this right now. It says halal, it will do. In fact, what you should be asking for, and what Brother Muhammad Salim said before, was we should focus on, when you go to the butcher's shop, you say, is this non-stun? Is this non-stun? Not is this halal? Because under the law in the UK, they say, well, not under the law, I should say, the people assume non-stun and stunning are both halal. I disagree. Non-stun is the method of the Prophet ﷺ and all the messengers. The other method is a method that's not ordained or ordered by Quran and Sunnah. So which method will you eat?
Brother Adil, again coming to you. Obviously, it is great challenge for Muslims, and it is great challenge for Muslims. But many of us, we think that, as for example, Brother Salim said earlier, that David Cameron said that as long as I am Prime Minister, halal meat will remain there. Do you think that we should rely on these type of comments and be relaxed? Because the way I look at it, worse than this, Obama said as soon as he came that he will close down Guantanamo Bay within 1 year. And you know how many years it took and so on. Why? Because Prime Minister or President, worse than Prime Minister, President could say something, but he or she is driven by the government and Governor's house and so on. So what would you advise on this?
No, I don't think so, to be honest. I mean, we should rely on our own self as a Muslim Ummah. We should unite. I mean, there are certain issues, yes, we have got difference of opinion on different things, but these are fundamental issues like ibadat. There are some fundamentals. So this is a part of ibadat. We should realize eating halal, true halal, is an ibadat. So I think we should unite on that point, and rather than as you just mentioned, relying on someone else, we should be strong enough to unite and get our message across to the bodies, so that even if someone just like these challenge we were having, we won't have, inshallah. I mean, I think, to me, I mean, we shouldn't rely on other. We should rely on ourselves and get unite.
And I mean, what difference does it make if it is basically non-stunning? Because in Denmark, I think is already banned, and they say that animal rights comes before the religious freedom and so on. So over there, Muslims have accepted. So why can't we accept in Britain?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, yes, I mean, as in Britain, we have got a lot of freedom. We can practice our religion very freely, and we should make the authorities aware. Look, this is a part of our religion, and this is, I mean, Great Britain is a great country. You can practice your religion freely, comparatively to other European countries. And again, I mean, as you just mentioned, that we have got two options. Either we can become vegetarian, or if we eat that stunned meat, then according, as I just mentioned, there is hadith, the central idea of hadith, if you like, if I can share the summary of that hadith, is very famous hadith, a person who's traveled widely and his hair are, I mean, crowded by dust, and he raised his voice, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, but his voice is not accepted because all his dressing, his eating, all is haram. Then if we eat haram, as just I mentioned, I mean, all our prayers will not be registered. So we have got two options, just in case if we take this, just like in Denmark, as you mentioned, people are eating stunned, then we have got two options. Either a true Muslim, he would convert into vegetarian, and which would be difficult because we like to eat meat, and or the other option, we eat stunned, and then again, I mean, living in a Britain as a free country, I mean, it's our basic right to practice our religion and to eat true halal meat.
I think we should really go back to the thing that we started with about this being the best place to practice Islam. There is what's called a Human Rights Act. And that Human Rights Act allows individuals to practice their religion and their belief. The next thing is the law about slaughter. The law allows us to slaughter by a method that we believe in. So the structure is there. What we are trying to now do is to make sure that others who are against it do not create this ban or help this ban. And this ban is being talked about on the basis of animal rights. And we need to reason and argue about it. If truly stunning was meant to be humane, then experiments to see whether this actually happens cannot be taken place here. Because as an animal that is stunned, then to show whether it then reverts back to its normal life cannot actually be done here. So experiments on those on animal welfare cannot be carried out. That in itself is a very good proof that someone somewhere does not truly believe that this is humane. If you look at the electric currents which are given ECT to human to patients, human patients for certain mental health conditions, that cannot be given without an anesthetic. Okay, so that again shows that there is some pain which we believe, which we do not want to, people to suffer, and that is why we're given that. So these are the sort of things that we need to challenge and say, you know, it's very easy to say animal welfare is why, you know, this is being banned or this is being recommended to ban, because that is not true. And that is that sense and power of argument that we should be forwarding to. Animal welfare is very easily said and emotional. If we go back to that video we were talking about in that slaughterhouse, whatever cruelty was taking place, and it is nothing less than cruelty, was taking place, was nothing to do with slaughtering and carrying out the religious method. It was individuals working in that slaughterhouse not performing the animal welfare duty properly. Yeah. The responsibility of that is for the owner of the slaughterhouse to make sure that that is carried on. To make sure that this can be carried out properly, they have veterinarians posted in each slaughterhouse. And their duty and objective of putting them there is to make sure that animal welfare and other aspects are properly maintained. The fact that that slaughterhouse could get away with or was conducting this type of animal cruelty when a veterinary surgeon should have been present, and by law they're required to be there, is in itself a thing that there are certain other problems that we need to address. Animal welfare there was being completely compromised well before the animal was even brought to the slaughter. And if we are serious about it, then we should look at the overall effect on the animal. And here it is, throughout this life of the animal, or certainly at the time when the animal was in the slaughterhouse, has been subjected to that type of cruelty. Compared with that, just slaughter for a few seconds, even if there is any problem, they don't compare. So I think animal welfare is really an excuse that is being taken. And we need to challenge that. And we have the facility of challenging, arguing, and letting our communities and our politicians know. So when we're talking about lobbying our MPs, that's what we should do. We should not just talk about, emotionally, but also that there's an argument there, there's some reasoning there.
So where this general public can find this intellectual discussion and argument to put to their MP? Obviously, they can't go and just speak over there. They need some resources or material.
Well, I think the first thing is, alhamdulillah, you have provided that opportunity. And we need to have more programs, more facilities like that. And we need to engage in discussions as well as produce some leaflets and documents so that people can be aware of it.
Is there any website on which there is information?
I can't remember it just now, but yes, we can show that.
Dr. Abu-Eesa Khatmi provides some information. If they go to his website, enough information there.
If you Google Dr. Khatmi's name, you'll find a lot of information. And also HMC website has a lot of information, quite in-depth research as well on halal and haram. Just one point I would like to add when, I forgot to mention while the brother was talking about Europe and they're saying that it's inhumane, the method of slaughter. Now, did you know Europe, Sweden, Germany have animal brothels? So you are legally allowed to commit sexual acts with animals, both males and females allowed to do this. Now, which religion, which person who's sane would allow this? And these people are advocates of saying that halal is not humane. I'd like people to think about this. Animal brothels, subhanallah.
Allah al-Musta'an. Sheikh Abdul Qayyum, if you would like to conduct your program, your salat, you asked for 5 minutes. I won't give you 5 minutes. I'll give you 300 seconds.
Thank you. Jazakallah khairan. Yes, the Bangla viewers probably expecting tonight to listen from me from Iqra Bangla. I'm here now. They are viewing it through Bangla channel, Iqra Bangla. So, ওনাদের জন্য যে মেসেজ যে আজকে আমরা এখানে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ প্রোগ্রামে এসেছি সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা যে হালাল গোশত খাই এটা স্টান করাটা আসলে শরীয়তের দৃষ্টিতে খুব আপত্তি। স্টান অর্থ হচ্ছে যে জানোয়ারকে জবাই করা হয়, জবাই করার আগে তাকে ইলেকট্রিক শক দিয়ে অনেক কষ্ট দেওয়া হয়। এই কষ্ট দেওয়াটা ইসলামী শরীয়তে অ্যাকসেপ্টেবল নয়, গ্রহণযোগ্য নয়। এই জন্য আমরা নন স্টান মিট খাই, যেগুলোর মধ্যে ইলেকট্রিক শক দেওয়া হয় না জানোয়ারকে জবাই করার আগে। এই দেশের প্রায় স্লটার হাউসে স্টান করা হয়, কিন্তু জুইশ কমিউনিটি, ইহুদিরা এবং মুসলমানদের জন্য গভর্নমেন্ট অ্যালাউ করেছে স্টান করা ছাড়া যে সমস্ত জানোয়ারকে জবাই করা হবে সেগুলো আমরা খেতে পারবো। নর্মালি এইচএমসি ইয়েগুলো এই নন স্টান মিটকে প্রোভাইড করে, এইচএমসি শপে আমরা পাই। এখন লবি চলতেছে হেভিলি এর বিরুদ্ধে যে বিনা স্টানে কোনো জানোয়ার জবাই করা যাবে না, তার মানে ইলেকট্রিক শক না দিয়ে কোনো জানোয়ারকে জবাই করা হবে না, ওইরকম গোশত খাওয়ার জন্য আমাদেরকে বাধ্য করা হবে। এবং এই জন্য আজকে এই প্রোগ্রাম আমরা সচেতনতা সৃষ্টি করা, অ্যাওয়ারনেস সৃষ্টি করা, এর জন্য এখানে পিটিশন এর বিরুদ্ধে 1 লক্ষের বেশি সিগনেচার গভর্নমেন্টের কাছে গিয়েছে বন্ধ করার জন্যে, যাতে ইলেকট্রিক শক না দিয়েই কোনো জানোয়ার জবাই করা না করা হয়। আমরা এর বিপক্ষে মুসলমানরা এবং ইহুদিরা মিলে কাজ করছি। এই পর্যন্ত 50,000-এর বেশি, প্রায় 55,000-এর কাছাকাছি সিগনেচার হয়েছে পিটিশনে। আমরা পিটিশন সবাই শুরু করা দরকার। আপনি গভর্নমেন্ট পিটিশনে অ্যাড্রেস পাওয়া যাবে, টিভি স্ক্রিনে আসতেছে। পক্ষে একটা, বিপক্ষে একটা। আপনি স্টানিংয়ের বিপক্ষে এবং স্টানিং না করে হালালের পক্ষে আপনি পিটিশন দিবেন। ব্রাদার মোহাম্মদ আমিন এটাকে প্রোভাইড করেছেন, এই ফ্যাসিলিটিটা আপনারা নেবেন। সবাই ইনশাআল্লাহ আগামী 2-3 দিনের মধ্যে আমরা 2 লক্ষ পরিমাণ সিগনেচার পেতে চাই আমাদের হালাল রাইটকে ধরে রাখার জন্য। এবং লোকাল এমপি, পলিটিশিয়ান প্রত্যেকে আমাদের নিজস্ব এলাকা এমপিকে আমরা বলবো, তাদের কাছে দেখা করব যে আপনি এটার পক্ষে পার্লামেন্টে যখন ডিবেট হবে আপনি আমাদের পক্ষে ভোট দিবেন। আপনি আমাদের এমপি, আপনি আমাদের পলিটিশিয়ান, আপনি যদি আমাদের পক্ষে ভোট না দেন তাহলে সামনের দিকে আমরা বুঝলাম যে আপনি আমাদের স্বার্থ রক্ষা করছেন না। মুসলমানরা, ইহুদিরা এই 2-3 দিনের মধ্যে খুব অ্যাক্টিভলি কাজ করবে। আমরা আশা করি সব মুসলমান যারা হালাল খেতে চাই সবাই আমরা যেন আমাদের পিটিশনে কন্ট্রিবিউট করি, কেউ যেন মিস না করি। এই আবেদন কালকে জুমার দিনে ইমাম সাহেবদেরকে, খুতবার দিনে, জুমার দিনে ইমাম সাহেবদেরকে কালকে খুতবা আগে পরে বা খুতবার ভিতরে এই বিষয়টা আলোচনা করে আমাদের কমিউনিটির মধ্যে সচেতনতা সৃষ্টি করার জন্য আমি অনুরোধ করছি সব ইমাম সাহেবরা। আই রিকোয়েস্ট অল ইমামস to handle this subject tomorrow in Jummah khutbah, to create this awareness what is coming in terms of the debate, and we need to get around 200,000 petition, and we need to lobby to the MPs, to the politicians. I hope all of the imams will take this responsibility of inshallah their sermon will be around that, and they will be doing creating all this awareness to our community through Friday sermon tomorrow. I hope ইনশাআল্লাহ আমাদের ভাইয়েরা বোনেরা সবাই আপনারা হালাল খাওয়ার জন্য এই কাজ করবেন, যাতে করে আমরা মিস না করি। আল্লাহ তাআলা আমাদের কিসমতে হালাল খাবার রাখুন। সবাই আমরা পিটিশনে কন্ট্রিবিউট করি। জাযাকুমুল্লাহ খাইরান।
Jazakumullah. And it is really, really important at this time for everyone who are watching this program to log on to this petition site. If you are in favor of halal, then you can sign that link. If you are not in favor of halal food, then we are giving you that option also, and you can sign that. So both links are given on the screen, and you can go for it, mashallah, and choose which one you want to go for. Mashallah, I would say that since we started this program, around 1,000 new signatures have added to this page, but that's not enough. Our target is not 1,000, our target is not even 10,000, although it is basically around 54,000 at this stage, but our target is at least 150 to 200,000, if not 250. So we need to go really high. It's not that we want to just match to minimum 100,000. Obviously, if we reach 100,000, if we don't reach that, then we are totally useless. So we have to reach 100,000 minimum. That is the first step of the ladder, and then it's up to you how far and how high you want to climb, inshallah. So take this as your mission. By tomorrow night, I think we should hit the target of 100,000 as a blessing of this panel, and in appreciation of these brothers over here, mashallah, who have given their input, inshallah. We're going towards next break, inshallah, very short one, and after that we'll have a little bit more changes in the program. But before that, Brother Isa, any final words from you?
All I can say is to my brothers and sisters is that please educate yourself. This show that is being conducted, there's a very important points that have been stressed, and that is we should understand what is halal and what isn't halal, and consume halal, and we have to learn to protect it as well. If we fail to speak up today, tomorrow it can affect many other aspects of our deen. So all I'll say is I encourage everybody to sign the e-petition, create awareness, WhatsApp, email, text your brothers, your sisters, your circle, and get onto it. We are more than 100,000 people in the UK. If we can't achieve this by a few clicks on our phones, on our computers, then what we expecting then.
Dr. Shuja, final words from you.
Again, just to say that awareness is important. We need to certainly sign the petition and get.
I think more than awareness is now time of action. Yeah. A lot of awareness has been done already, and I mean I have received through WhatsApp and Facebook and at least nearly 70-80 times already. So it's time to act. Many of those people who are forwarding these messages haven't signed up to now.
Okay, I think that's actually unless you're aware, you can't sign, and therefore the next step would be to please sign. And also, even that is not enough. We need to keep on letting our policymakers know, our MPs to become aware of this.
Inshallah, I'll give you one responsibility. Being Secretary of MCB is basically, inshallah, by this weekend to produce a short manual with basically logical reasons and so on. I know that there is on HMC website, and I'm sure something must have done by National Halal and so on also. Right now is not matter of basically this body or that body. It affects everybody, all halal food industry, regardless whichever organization they belong to. So you need to produce something from intellectual approach, inshallah, that if our brothers and sisters wants to write to MPs and so on, then we can share that with them. It should be prominently visible on MCB website, so we can promote that link. Jazakumullah. Sheikh Abdul Qayyum, will you stay with us or?
If you allow me to prepare my tomorrow's khutbah around this issue, inshallah. So I would like to take permission to leave, inshallah.
You need to prepare khutbah by going to bed early, or?
Yes, that's why I'm planning. Thank you.
Yeah, so any quick final word from you?
Jazakallahu khair. No, I think we take it very seriously, as it is our deen, it is our very religion, and our ibadah will be not accepted, as many of the colleagues said many times. And we also need to do halal and tayyib, as Imam Qasim in the beginning said. I know there is a debate, some of the people could consider it is makruh, not haram necessarily stunning, but although I am in favor of considering haram, because there could be even case of death cases happen. However, even if you take the opinion it is not totally haram, but it is not free of makruh. Any kind of ta'zeeb, punishment, any kind of torture to the animal before dhabah is haram. This act is haram. This act is a sin, and that makes minimum standard is makruh. Therefore, I know we talk about awareness. Even I know, I acknowledge this. Our community is not really that aware about this issue of stunning. Today we are in debate, but many of them don't know what is the problem if done with stunning. So they don't know the process, that many of the chicken dies, big number, because the heart is very weak. Electric shock, they can survive, many of them die. While it is coming to us in a halal form, originally it died and it became haram already. So that's why there is a genuine worry of some of them will be dying heart attack before slaughtered, and if not even not died, but still ta'zeeb is taking place, which is a sin. We must not eat, must not buy of this kind of things. That is awareness. For that, we need to fight within a couple of days to make sure all of us, all Muslims, are contributing to promote, to preserve our halal right in this country.
Inshallah. And it goes without saying that, for example, at the time of Qurbani or even for generic slaughtering of animal, one of the conditions is that the animal should be healthy and non-defective. So there shouldn't be any defect to the animal. I mean, even if broken leg or जो है कटी हुई दुम जो है किसी की हो या सींग टूटा हुआ हो, तो जब उसकी कुर्बानी नहीं है तो कोई अगर जानवर जो है उसकी इंटरनल अगर ब्लीडिंग का प्रोसेस हो गया है या उसके बाज़ ऑर्गन्स फेल होना शुरू हो गए तो वो तो उससे बड़ा डिफेक्ट.
Absolutely.
Jazakumullah khair, inshallah. Brother Adil, you will stay with us for next part, and we will have, no, yeah, inshallah, we will have a few more brothers joining us. We will have, mashallah, Sheikh Yunus joining us from HMC, Brother Salim, and mashallah, the founder of this page. As a punishment because of him, we are here discussing this, inshallah. If you wouldn't have started this page, we would have been fine and relaxed and living in our own cuckoo land. Thank you very much to everybody. Jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, नाज़रीन मुख्तसर से वक्फे की तरफ जा रहे हैं. 3-4 मिनट के ब्रेक के बाद दोबारा हाज़िरी होती है पैनल के चेंजेस के साथ. तब तक इजाज़त दीजिएगा. अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.